Members of a £250 million Class A drugs conspiracy, which centred around a farm in Flintshire, have been jailed for over 40 years in total. Operation Falcon saw the Northwest Regional Organised Crime Unit smash the drugs conspiracy which had links to Dubai in South America. The conspiracy centred around a farm near Buckley where 600 kilos of Class A drugs were recovered during a police raid on the property in September 2023. This farm had become the packaging and distribution sites for the operation. Guy Remington, who was jailed early this year, used a specially adapted mobility car, pulling a trailer to carry the drugs across the English Channel, hidden in secret compartments built into the trailer. The drugs were then transported to the Tirglass-Gock farm. The three other ringleaders of the operation, including Luke Hurst, who was the farm's tenant, were jailed at Chester Crown Court in March for a total of 37 years. At Moor Crown Court this week, other members of the operation, including drugs couriers and co-conspirators, appeared for sentencing, having all previously admitted the following offences. So, Charles Dilworth, he admitted conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. Mark Blower, conspiracy to supply Class A. John Fairclough, conspiracy to supply Class A. Michael Day, same conspiracy to supply Class A. Jamie Menner, intent to supply Class A. David Haig, possession with intent to supply Class A. Elisha Lee, attempt to pervert the course of justice. Aaron Lee, attempt to pervert the course of justice. And Michael Hardy, attempt to pervert the course of justice. The court heard that Blower, a Class A drug supplier based in London, was said to have played a leading role. He directed a courier to drive from Surrey to the farm to collect the large amounts of Class A drugs and bring them back down south. WhatsApp messages recovered by the police revealed the arrangements to pick up the drugs made between Blower and a suspect based in Liverpool, and the prosecution said this orchestrated the conspiracy. This suspect remains at large, the court heard. Dilworth travelled to the farm where the police observed him assisting with the unloading of the trailer and placing drugs into drug bags. He was then seen at the trailer removing items and carrying them back and forth into the farm. When police raided the farm, Dilworth fled and was successful in evading capture. He later fled the country to Malaga in Spain, but was arrested on his return to the UK after a pair of gloves at the scene were found with his DNA on them. Fairclough was described as a Class A drugs courier from Merseyside. He attended the farm on 6 occasions and transported a large quantity of drugs via a Seat Leon. Day was also a Class A drugs courier, twice attending the farm, where he was provided with Class A drugs, and on the second occasion he was given 300 kilos of drugs. Menner, who's a former professional footballer, and Haig also acted as couriers but were charged with the lesser offence of possession with intent to supply Class A drugs to avoid a jury trial to determine whether they had knowledge of the wider scope of the drugs conspiracy, something which they both denied. Sisters Elisha and Erin Lee and her partner Michael Hardy attended the area of the farm on the day of the police raid, and the court heard that Dilworth likely made contact with Elisha Lee's partner on the day of the raid. Hardy drove a car to the Pinfold area near the farm, whereby they were spotted by police officers at the scene. Likely panicking after seeing the police, Erin Lee made a call to the police, falsely reporting a kidnap, and she claimed a man carrying a knife had entered their vehicle while it was pulled over and forced them to drive, later dropping them off in D-side. The report was quickly found to be false, and the three were arrested, and the court heard mitigations from defence barristers for all of the defendants. Blower was said to be deeply remorseful for his actions, and he was of previously good actor. He said he was in considerable financial debt, which impacted his decision to involve himself. Dilworth was said to have been recruited on the one occasion and was described as a dog's body who didn't have knowledge of the wider conspiracy. Day, who was a serving soldier with the parachute regiment, a veteran of the war of Afghanistan where he was wounded, was described as a truly outstanding soldier. Haig was described as a reliable working man in the scaffolding trade for 30 years. Men were said to have been recruited in order to earn some quick cash. Fairclough was said to be remorseful and has undertaken employment courses whilst on remand in prison. And Erin and Elisha Lee's involvement was described as an act of profound folly, which was totally out of character and born out of their loyalty to Dilworth. So the defendants received the following sentences. Blower, he was jailed for 14 years and 3 months. Dilworth got 7.5 years. Fairclough was jailed for 7 years. Day was jailed for 6 years. Mena was jailed for 7.5 years. Haig was jailed for 9 years. Hardy got 12 months, and Alicia and Erin Lee both received 8-month jail sentences that were suspended for 18 months. Chief Superintendent Ian Whitehead of the Northwest Regional Organised Crime Unit said the operation demonstrates our unwavering commitment to dismantling organised crime networks and protecting our communities from the scourge of illegal drugs. This brings a total to over 100 years of sentencing for Operation Falcon. He said we will continue to work tirelessly to bring those involved in drug trafficking to justice and ensure the safety of the communities of the northwest of England. So guys, before I get on to the next story, if you can, please drop a like on this video, as it will help with the algorithms and promote it for others to view as well. I'd really appreciate that. Big respect going out to each and every one of you. Members of a county lines gang who flooded a North Yorkshire coastal town with illegal drugs have been jailed. Birmingham-based dealers who operated under the name Ghost organised bringing heroin and crack to Scarborough between August 2017 and January 2018, North Yorkshire Police have said. At York Crown Court, Christina Europus, who's 35, Javona Ennis, who's 27, and Neil Gordon, who's 22, were all given jail sentences. Detective Constable Darrell Temple from the force said it had taken approaching 6 years to secure justice against the offenders. A vehicle containing members of the gang was stopped by police during the early hours of the 16th of January 2018 in Scarborough, with traces in heroin and crack found by officers. Police discovered Scarborough-based Gordon was working with others to deliver drugs to users in the coastal town. Mobile phone analysis and other evidence showed the group were using several deal lines to sell drugs in North Yorkshire, with all members charged with drugs offences in January 2023. Detective Constable Temple said the group thought they could operate with impunity between the West Midlands and Scarborough. This effort shows our determination to rid our community of the harms caused by drug-related crime. So, Eurapus from Birmingham was jailed for 3.5 years for her role. You got Ennis was given a 2-year sentence for his involvement in the scheme, with Gordon jailed for 2.5 years. There's a further 3 members of the gang, and they were sentenced at the same court back in October. So guys, there's a number of stories coming out from the streets of the UK. Once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a little like and drop a comment below. I'd appreciate it, and I'll respond back to you. Once again, big respect going out to each and every one of you. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.